we're talking about the daylilies. Look at these 6 pieces for $19.98. That is a special low price. It's the first day they're being presented at this price. First day presented on 5 Easy Pay. The Easy Pay option goes away, remember, at the end of the day, which in essence means about an hour and a half from now. So if you'd like to get these home for $4, place your order now. You are getting 3 different colors, 2 of each. That is basically $3.33 a plant. You are not going to find that at your everyday garden store. What's the Roberta's difference here?
Oh, well, for the main thing about a daylily is daylilies are the heart and the soul of the American garden. They're essentially the backbone of the American garden. If you don't have daylilies in your garden, you're missing out, because nothing brings more color, more joy with such little effort. This plant can handle the worst conditions, whether you live in the hottest areas of Texas or New Mexico, or up in Seattle, Washington, or Pennsylvania. This is a collection that is meant for gardeners of anywhere in the country, because daylilies can handle anything. But the difference here is that Roberta's has created this collection of 6 fragrant and reblooming daylilies that are going to be producing so many flowers in your garden starting the very first year. And the flowers are large, 6 to 8 inch wide flowers that are all multicolored, and they're considered reblooming, which means they bloom for about twice as long as generic daylilies, but also they're even fragrant.
And not all daylilies are.
Most daylilies are not fragrant. Yeah, so in the world of daylilies, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of varieties of daylilies out there. Now, about 10% of all daylilies are considered reblooming, which means they're going to bloom twice as long as your average daylily. Now, of those reblooming daylilies, about 10% of those are also considered fragrant. So only 1% of all daylilies are both reblooming and fragrant. And in this collection, we have selected the 3 daylilies that we think are the very best, most fragrant, best blooming daylilies that will produce the most flowers, that are the largest and the most gorgeous colors.
Well, that's why I chose these as my pick of the show, because I'm new to gardening. I want something that's going to give me a lot of bang for my buck in terms of color and in terms of ease. I want something that I can plant and get a little boost of confidence, because I don't have to take too much care of them, and they're going to continue to bloom and look beautiful.
Yes.
So what is the care with these? How much water, how much sun?
Yeah, so this is a plant that you can plant it out where the hose doesn't reach. These love the full hot sun, and after the first season, Mother Nature takes care of these. I know out in my family's house in Indiana, we have them planted at the very front of the yard, right by where the road meets, and it is way too far for any hose to reach, and yet they bloom all summer long, every single summer like clockwork, because these are true winter hardy perennials. And with the value that we're able to offer you guys today, I think each plant is what, like
$3.33 to be precise.
Yeah, so this is the best opportunity to get a few of these collections. I highly recommend get 3, 4, or 5 of these collections, plant them all around your garden, and you will have just the most beautiful, colorful paradise of flowers that you do almost no care for.
It looks like you did a lot of work, but you really don't have to take care of them. You don't have to baby them. They have been so popular, and I think that's why. Since they debuted just a couple weeks ago, we've already sold 3,000 sets, over 3,000 sets. And remember, here's an opportunity with that Easy Pay that's going to go away in a couple hours, $4. So if you did want to get a few sets, this is the opportune time to do that. Let's say you get 3 sets, $12, and you're paying that off as you're enjoying these beautiful flowers. And if it's the first time that you're planting, look how much you're getting. If this is just one set right here.
Yeah.
3 different colors, 2 of each. Now, how long will it take for them to get this?
Well, before we get there, I just wanted to show you. So for many of you guys at home, if you want to go find a fragrant reblooming daily at your garden centers, go be my guest. Go and try. You will not have success.
Right.
They will point you in the direction of I don't know where.
Yeah.
They'll say, well, we have this little Stella d'Oro. This is the most common reblooming daylily out there, and it's nice, but it's it's just a single yellow color. But look at the size comparison from the Stella d'Oro to any one of our daylily flowers.
Yep.
There is no comparison, and our flowers are all multicolored. So if you want the most beautiful look in the garden, you need to have these daylilies.
Absolutely.
And also, the Stellas are quite expensive. Definitely not going to have the value that
Yeah.
we're
These
able to offer
are
you
twice,
guys
if
today.
not 3 times as big.
I came out here because you were telling about the idea of a mass planting of these daylilies. And Terry, our parents, at the top of our driveway, we had this big open space, and it's just covered with daylilies. They took their advice and they planted all these different daylily
Probably
roots.
100 daylilies.
Yeah.
In that
Wow.
area.
And I kid you not, neighbors will drive by, they'll pull over, they'll take their cameras out, they'll take pictures because they're so beautiful. But you know what my parents do? Absolutely nothing. I mean, we have no hose that can go up that far up to the driveway.
Right.
It's basically on the side of the road. It gets really hot in the summer. They don't do anything, and they are striking. I mean, enough to stop the neighbors driving by.
Well, and Devin, you were saying there's a reason why they plant these. You see them along highways in the what's the
The
middle
median.
in the
Yes.
median.
Yeah, exactly.
Because no one's going to go out there and spend time watering
if
them.
the
But they
big-
look gorgeous.
If the big snow truck hits them in the winter, it doesn't matter. They don't care. If they're covered with salt in the winter, it doesn't matter. They're still going to thrive.
Yep.
And we have some wonderful lifestyle shots. And we can go through those again to just give you guys some more ideas of where to plant these around the garden. And you're getting 3 different varieties in this collection. So 2 of each. The first one is the Tsarina Sunburst, and I love this one because it has a fragrance that is kind of like a coconutty, tropical fragrance almost. And these flowers are about 6.5 inches across.
Wow.
The flowers are beautiful yellow with a little bit of salmon pink in there. And the next one that you're getting 2 of these ones is the Francis of Assissi. These are about 6-inch wide flowers with a gorgeous white picotee edging, which means they have that little, design at the edge of the flower that really makes them stand apart. And these flowers have a fragrance that's kind of like a sweet apple. Look at them in the garden, though. This is what I love about a daylily. They're effortless beauty. In this next image, you see how they have this kind of strappy foliage that looks gorgeous.
And that really takes care of a lot of real estate.
Absolutely. That's probably your 2 plants right there. So imagine getting 3 or 4 of these collections and planting them all along the edge of your garden, along the borders, next to walkways. That is really how you have a low maintenance but very rewarding garden.
Well, we're closing in on about 4,000 since these were made available just a couple weeks ago. I think you're seeing the value. Oh, look at you standing there.
Yep.
Look how much space they take up. This is perfect, not only for a fresh gardener or a new gardener like me, because of how much you get. I don't want to just go buy one plant and plant it and be like, oh, yay, I planted a plant. If I plant these, look how much real estate that takes up, and I don't have to baby them. I don't really have to know what I'm doing. I think that's why
Absolutely.
they've been so popular.
Yes.
So if you're like me and you just want to try something, I really recommend this 6-piece set because you are getting 6 pieces. They don't take a lot of care, and you have your warranty. Pick up some plant food and see what you can do.
Yeah, it's as simple as getting these roots and planting them in the ground. As soon as you do that, Mother Nature will take care of them. That's what we love about daylilies. If you're a beginner gardener, this is the absolute best place to start because they're so rewarding. Each of your collections, starting the first season, you can get up to 400 to 500 flowers from one collection. The first season.
Oh my goodness.
The second season, about double that, up to 1,000 flowers, and the third season, up to 2,000 flowers.
Wow.
And I'll show you exactly why that's possible. So I have in my hand one of the stems that I cut earlier because I wanted to show you guys all of the beautiful buds. I'm counting like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's like 20 to 25 buds each one of these is going to be producing flowers for you, and that is why you're able to get so many flowers from this one collection starting the very first year. So imagine if you got 3 or 4 of these collections, planted them all around your garden.
Right.
Your garden will be filled with color all summer long.
An enormous immediate garden, basically.
Yes.
Immediate meaning, how soon will we see flowers?
Well, you'll start to see flowers the very first year, but by the 3rd year is when they really come in.
When they'll look like this?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And the key is give them lots of full sun. They love the full sun. And in the first year, you want to water them in to make sure they're watered on a regular basis, and use your Roberta's Bounty fertilizer. I would say once every 2 weeks will be sufficient with these daylilies, and that'll help them get even better growth that's stronger with the most flowers that will look the very best on your plants.
Okay, we've crossed the 4,000 mark now. These were just introduced a few weeks ago. Show us again how they come, and then how far apart should we plant them so that they don't run into each other?
So these plants grow about 20 to 30 inches tall and wide, so that's about 2 to 2.5 feet tall and wide.
Okay.
And this is how they come. So once you plant these into the ground, they will start to fill out very quickly. I love planting them along the borders. If you have a fence that you want to cover, plant it all along the fence.
Ooh, that's a nice idea.
It's a gorgeous look. I love having them.
So many uses.
There's so many ways to use the daylily. These are a very true winter hardy perennial. They can handle winter temperatures down to negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit. So just about everywhere in the country, you plant it right in the earth, and it comes back better every single year.
So you plant these right now, and this season you see flowers, and they're perennial, so year after year after year, just from that first planting and first investment of $19.98 to get all 6 pieces. Remember, that's $3.33 per plant, and they're gorgeous. 3 different colors, 2 of each. Item M61683. All right, so coming up in the